This is Woody. He's a little over 10-week-old Fox Squirrel pup. This is Woody's mom, Minnie. She's about a year old, and she gave birth to Woody 10 and a half weeks ago. And right there is Woody's other brother, Speedy. They've been living in this box for about 10 and a half weeks, and today was actually the first time the two brothers managed to get out of the box and explore the tree. So it's been quite an exciting day for them. They also had a sister who was called Patricia. Patricia was very precocious, and she left the nest about 10 days before these guys ever did, ended up falling, hit her head, got a concussion, and I took her to a rehabber, and she's doing really well, and she will probably be released in the next few weeks after she is completely weaned and on solid food. Minnie moved in here about 2 weeks before she gave birth, and as I said, they've all been living in here. The pups have only been out. This was the first day they were out, so for 10 weeks, the only thing that they've known is the inside of this box until this day when they actually started to explore outside. I'm going to jump around a little bit in time. I'm going to go forward about 24 hours from here, but I just wanted to show some family life because now that they've moved, which tomorrow is the big moving day, the box is completely empty and there's not much going on other than the occasional squirrel that drops by. So if you've watched the channel before, you're used to this. This is the muck. Mom comes home, nurses, cleans them. They're always usually really, really happy to see her. And they've been a great, happy family. Okay, so now I've gone forward 24 hours from that last scene. This is Woody, and 5 hours earlier, Minnie came and took his brother and moved him across the street. So he's actually been alone for the last 6 hours. It's the first time in his life because he's always been with his brother, and until yesterday, he had never been out of the nest box. So he's going to be pretty happy to see Minnie. She's shown up here. And what she's going to do is try to talk him into coming with her across the road to her new digs. When they were smaller, she could obviously carry them around, and sometimes they'll move them when they're much younger. In fact, that happened last year. A fox squirrel showed up with some roughly 5-week-old pups, and she could carry them and move them and get them into that opening. If you watch this, when she jumps back up onto the roof, you can actually see her contemplate trying to grab him with her mouth, and this is what it looks like to me. She realizes very quickly that he's too big for that, and so she actually manages to persuade him to follow her. And so this will go on for another 30 seconds, and then you're going to get a scene from a security camera where you can see her get Woody to come down on the lawn and follow her across the street, up in the neighbor's yard, up a crepe myrtle tree, and then what it looks like up onto the roof. The reason I'm jumping around is this is a relatively short sequence, and some people don't want to watch a 25-minute video. So I just wanted to show basically the essence of what's going on. So there you can see them up on the left. That's Minnie and Woody. As I said, 6 hours earlier, she had already come over and gotten his brother to follow her across the street. So you keep an eye on the left. You can just see their tails, but pretty soon you'll see Minnie keep encouraging him, getting Woody to follow her across the street. This is also from a security camera footage, so the quality's not great, but you can still see what's going on. So I went ahead and included it. I didn't realize, sometimes I see this happening while it's real time. I had no idea. I had to look through the security tapes to try to figure out where did they go and what happened to them. And and then I found out, oh, here's Minnie, and she's taking the pups away to go live somewhere else. To the right of where they are is the tree where Bonnie lives with her two pups, Watson and Sherlock. But clearly she's not going in that direction. That would be if she took a right here, right across the street. That's where the big maple tree is. She's going to go towards the left up a tiny crepe you know, relative size-wise, a very small crepe myrtle. And the branches of that crepe myrtle, I think, sort of hang over to the roof. So it's a way for her to climb up this and then jump onto the roof. Where she goes after that, I have no idea. By the way, this is the video quality from a $60 security camera. The one that's in the tree is a $120 security camera. So there can be a difference in video quality and the price of a camera. If you look really, really closely, you can just make out the little blobs, and then they go higher and higher and higher, and it kind of looks like they get on the white gutter. Like right there, I think that would probably have been Minnie who's jumped up. Anyway, this is a little bit later in the evening, and this is Minnie. She's obviously hungry. She's had a busy day, and she actually will translate for you. She's got something to say. What she's got to say is that, hey, you, she's talking to you right there. You might consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed. Yeah, like right there. She's talking to you. And the other thing she says is that she actually really loves it when people take time to hit the up arrow or the like button. She says that just really makes her day. She's talking to you over there, and then she's got something to say to some other person. She's like, yeah, you're the person who always likes. She wants to thank you for that. Okay, so now we're going to go back in time. You can see the date up there. This is back to the first day they'd ever been out, and it's just a tip. This is the last night they all slept together in the nest, and so I just thought I'd show some scenes from that. One thing that I find remarkable is, like in this scene, how tiny the two pups actually look. You know, there's obviously Minnie curled around. Okay, so now we're next morning. She had left and then come back, so this is 9. You can see the timestamps. She's just checking up on the pups. She'll take off, and then she'll be back again in a couple hours. And so what I've got coming up is just the two pups playing around for the next roughly 2 hours. I'm fast forwarding some sections, and then eventually Minnie will show back up, and I'll do a bit of narration. When she shows up, it's like she's looking for her lost car keys, or the deed to the house, or her passport. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. You guys can tell me what your theory is, why she comes back and goes digging like crazy into the nesting material looking for something. So I'll be quiet for a bit. You can listen to these guys play, and I'll narrate a little bit when some other stuff happens a little further on. Also, I should be able to put into the description links if you want to bypass this all the way to get to the point where she actually takes Speedy across the road. I'll put a link in for that if you're just not interested in watching all the family life. And as you can see, this went out at 11 o'clock. It's just about 25 minutes, 30 minutes away before Minnie gets Speedy to come across the street with her. I've done a little bit of fast forwarding in some areas. Other areas I've just cut out bits. It's kind of experimenting with that to see what works better. So sometimes you'll see like there's a shift because you can tell the sun has moved, and that's just where there was no action, and I just cut it out a small amount. All right, so here's Minnie showing up, and about 20 minutes after this is when she actually starts to take her sons across the street. But here's where she just shows up, and she's just digging like a crazy person. And I really, any speculation, any ideas what she's up to here? I'd love to hear it in the comments. I'm also curious, like maybe she's like finally realizes Patty's missing and she's like massively looking for her. I really don't know. As I said, if you want to skip all this stuff, I have a link or a time index in the description so you can jump ahead to where she's taking Speedy across the street with her. There it is, more digging for something. Spends quite a few minutes doing that. And I'd like to believe that she had already planned to take the two pups across the street with her, that it's not something in here that she finds suspicious or unpleasant or whatever that is motivating her to take them away. But once again, if you guys have any ideas, feel free to put them in the comments as to why she decided today was the day to move her pups after they had just learned to get out of the nest yesterday morning. I find it pretty amazing how quickly the squirrels learned how to just jump all around the tree. Like I said, they've only been out for like a day and a half so far. It was just yesterday morning around 7:30, so on April 9th where they had first gone out, and here we are, just slightly over a day later, and they're running around. To me, it looks like they're experts. It's still about 15 minutes away before Minnie finally persuades him to come down the tree trunk with her and down to the lawn. That's roughly at about 11:30, so we're here just 11:15. always wonder what squirrels are thinking when you see them stare off into space like that, especially when they're looking directly at the camera. I wonder if sometimes there's a reflection on the camera, and so they're looking at the reflection, not necessarily of themselves, but of everything else that's they're surrounded by. It is possible that they see a direct reflection of their self that they're trying to figure out. Anyway, I included a bunch of footage like this, as I said, because they've moved on, and I kind of miss being able to watch them. So I thought that it would just be kind of fun to see some of their activity from the last day they were in the box. To me, they are just super cute. I spent a lot of time watching this real time when it was going on. It's just fascinating to see how excited they were that they could uh, get out of the box easily and go up and down the tree. I was also surprised to see Minnie come home in the middle of the day. Normally, she wasn't doing that. Past, roughly a week, she would leave in the mornings and then come back late in the evenings. And so she's already come back twice around 9 o'clock and then again here at 11 o'clock to check at them, which I thought was unusual. And I had no idea that her plan was to go and escort them across the street to a new place to live. I was very surprised by that. I kept thinking they were going to come back in the evening. I didn't even, when I was watching the tape, when I was watching it real time, I didn't realize they'd actually left the tree. They said we call these two boy brothers are called Woody and Speedy. Just looking at them, if they're standing still, I can't tell them apart. It was more by their personality. Speedy, of course, was always super active, and Woody could have been also called sleepy. He just, a little bit more chilled out and really enjoyed taking naps. In fact, that's what he spent the whole day doing. After he watches Minnie and his brother leave, he went back up the tree, and I've got about 5 hours of him just curled up in the box sleeping. Yeah, so here we are. Minnie's almost about to guide them down the trunk and try to persuade him to cross the street with her. And I'm pretty sure this is Woody. But Speedy and Minnie are already down the trunk, and he's trying to figure out what he's going to do next, and then he goes down and joins them for a bit. Yeah, so here we are on the security tape, and you can see the mom and actually both squirrels. As I said, they'll both show up, but in the end, it's only Speedy who follows her across the street, and this is right around 11:30, a little bit past 11:30. I went ahead and left this whole sequence uncut, so you can just see exactly the way it went down. And I think that was like either a hummingbird or an insect that's flying around. You can see that a couple times. On the left, those little white spots, I put some fluff for bedding material, both for the squirrels and birds. Occasionally it disappears, so I think that helps them out for their nesting material. And if you go further up that tree, I've got the two floodlights. There's a black one and a silver one that you can see by the wires. So those light up my flags at night. And if you look really closely on the left, you can see two black wires that go off in a Y. The cameras I'm using are power over internet, so they're powered by 48 volts that comes through the Ethernet cables, and that's how they run 24/7. And I actually had to dig a trench for those cables. You can't see it, but it's a fair amount of work to stick wired cameras into trees. But the great part is you end up with video 24/7 that you can go through and create YouTube shorts. So, as I said, you can see Woody on the left. I think he's tempted maybe to follow Minnie, and I don't know if she was hoping to get both of them to follow her or whether she expected only one. In the end, only Speedy goes with her, and Woody goes back up in the tree. I didn't show it, and then he climbs back up. He'll go back up to the tree at the end of this. We're almost over here. I didn't actually show that. He climbs back up, gets on the nest box, and then I said he sleeps for the next 5 or 6 hours until Minnie shows back up and guides him across, as you saw in the starting sequence. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. It was a really great 10.5 weeks while they were all in the nest, and we all got to watch them. I'll keep you guys up to date, and I am planning on, like I said, doing a complete, short mini documentary of basically from conception to this point where they leave, just the high points, and watching squirrels grow. Hope you guys have a great day. That's it for now. Talk to you later. Bye.